Hello, disc golfers, and welcome to the compound in Griffin, Georgia. This private course is on a 60-acre piece of land and offers a variety of challenges. Today's special guest is a former high school quarterback turned pro disc golfer. He designs and manages the compound disc golf course, Hayden Kujala. All right, hole one. Tell me about it.
As a hole one, going straight down the gap here. Family's doing a couple clearings, so it looks a little more open than it usually is. Going down here, we got some guardian trees protecting this basket with a little bit of a stream that plays casual. And then on the right side, you'll see a couple flags. There's a barbed wire fence probably 40 feet right of this basket that you got to steer clear of and stay left.
Beautiful spot. Love this hole.
Absolutely gorgeous green. Hole two, definitely our bomber hole. Over 700 feet. Basically plays straight up this gap. You've got a telephone pole, power pole on the right side, as you show there with the arrow. You got to stay left of that, do it to a mando. If you miss that, is a re-tee. So as you keep flying along here, you follow on the wood line that's on the left. You want to stay as far right past that mando on this hole to set you up for the second shot that goes straight into the green. Landing zone off the drive is about 450 feet. That sets you up perfectly for this dogleg left. And it's a very, very, very guarded green. So you've got this dead straight gap or the gap on the right. That's a little hyzer line. Very precise entryway into here. Hole three, one of the OG holes, dude, that has not changed since I first put this hole in. Dead straight tunnel shot, slightly under 300 feet. Basically, you're wanting to throw something that's just keeping it low and making sure you're not hitting any limbs that are above. You get this hole, this is one of the bonus birdies. Hole four, another OG design. You want to stay left of this mando. The problem is you don't want to stay too left. You got a barbed wire fence the entire way down the left side. That's OB. Once you get past that mando and that pine tree that we're passing right now, it opens up completely. And it's a pretty straightforward putter / mid-range shot of this basket.
Oh, I'm excited about number 5.
Then number 5, infamous sunken basket, says sunken island hole. Basically, it's not super far. It's like 220. Basically, it's a pitch hyzer with a backhand or forehand. It is an island. It is a hazard island, about 30 feet on each side. If you don't land on the island, you play where it lies with a stroke penalty. There is no drop zone on this hole. Hole 6 is a good hole for a lot of the distance forehand players, and then also I've seen a ton of backhands on this hole that get around this clump of trees to the right with this pine that basically dig anhyzer and let it flex out of it and come to this basket and watch your putt. You airmail this, you're going 20 to 25 feet past the basket because you're having to putt up so much at it. 7, a little downhill forehand / turnover shot. You've got left that basically drops off to a dirt road marked with flags and stakes. A lot of people, you don't want to throw this low because you've got a berm that this dirt bike track makes where you throw it low, you're not going to get any action or skip down into the green. Behind this basket, it is pretty quick, so rollaways are a thing here.
Is it OB past the basket?
Here's OB left of that, past the basket, yes. Hole 8, this is a new design for the event for next weekend. It's a 420-foot slight bend to the right tunnel shot the entire way up to the basket. You don't want to bite too much off on this drive. It sets up more for a putter or 2 pitch forehands, or a pitch forehand and then a dead straight putter shot. But it's basically playing right up the hill. It's uphill the entire way, so you definitely need to keep your height. Hole 9, we've got hole that incorporates some of the OG design when you go back in the woods by the green, but you want to be straight off the tee. You want to basically either super straight into the gap that's straight ahead of us, or you want to fade a little bit into this left gap that, as you're turning right here, you can see this is the main gap. If you go too left, you're going to be pinched and you're not going to be able to get to the basket at all. But definitely right and center is where you want to end up. It sets up a better line for this next dog leg left to get in the green, because once again, this is a heavily guarded green with one, maybe two gaps in it, but this center gap that we're going to fly through, this is definitely the gap you want to line yourself up for.
I love how you've got the fairways really distinguished throughout the course.
I try to keep it that way so people know exactly where to go. I don't want a bunch of arrows, or basically, I don't want to have to line the fairway for you to tell. Hole 10, another new change for the event. I made it a dead straight instead of what it used to be. It plays a lot better coming down the rolling hills, but this is a theme for the course, for much of the course, is tunnel shots and distance control, because you can get it by this basket really quick. One of my favorite holes on the course. You got water left. You've got to keep your disc dead straight for a little bit until you get to the corner here, which will be this stump that we're going to fly over in a sec. And you want to kind of finishing right. Once you get up to this landing zone up here in a second, you'll see how guarded this green is. You finish up right. It's really tight, but if you finish down here in the fairway, you'll have just a pitch forehand up and around a clump of trees that guard this basket. Another one where you want to be on the fairway, you don't want to be left or right, or you'll be in jail. In hole 12, this one sets up for one of the best green that we have on the course. Straight, putter, mid. I wouldn't go too fast with a fairway, because behind this basket there is water, probably 40 feet behind the basket, and the disc can't get away from you. Like I said, definitely one of the most picturesque greens on the course. Go, go, go. 13, we got dead straight uphill. Tunnel shot, of course, through these two trees, and of course a little bit elevated basket. Sets up for another perfect green. Then we got 14, super tight off the tee. This pine tree we're going with, that's just left of the camera right now, that is the tree to mate. That's a disc magnet. But then it's basically just a straight to slight hyzer finish for your righty backhands. Nothing needed more than a putter or mid, and you'll set yourself up for a good birdie. Short hole, but for what it's made for, it's actually a bonus birdie. 15. It's straight out the gap here, about 350, 360 feet, a lot of forehands, really hard backhand to get to this one, but I've seen it done, but forehands is predominantly the play, and you definitely, it's hard to get a skip on this, especially with the dirt bike tracks near the basket, so that is definitely the play, is to just all air power forehand. Of course, it's guarded by trees. 16 is a combination of two holes from previous years. It's basically tees off down here into the wood line. It's a Mando left. Up, as you can see, you stay down here, it's probably 250, 260 foot shot. And right, going through, you've got three gaps to pick from, and then it goes back towards the tractor shed. Your drive is probably your most important spot to make sure you're in that landing zone. Then you've got three alleys to pick to throw to this basket. Once again, another par 4 that's probably putter. 17, bringing back a little bit of the OG for people that have played for 4 years previous to this. It basically goes downhill, straight across this little creek. You're basically wanting to aim for this power pole on a forehand or backhand, and let it either turn or fade into these gaps. Green is heavily guarded, especially from you coming uphill, going downhill. And then you also have a creek to the right of this basket, 20 feet right, that plays OB right and beyond of it. Then hole 18, bringing back another OG. You're basically teeing off 160 degree, almost it looks like a J, because you're basically aiming at these two far trees over here to the right, the bigger ones, and throwing it on a spike forehand, or you could probably throw a roller. I've seen a roller get there, but those are pretty much your two options. You try to throw a backhand turnover, you're going to fade out of it too early. More times than not, you'll have a 50 or 60 footer. at this basket that's super tucked around the corner.
All right, that's the video. My favorite part is definitely your football highlight that I found.
That's awesome. That's a splash from the past.
Did you subscribe since you found the channel?
I actually, before we even did this interview, I subscribed because I found a lot of I haven't been up to Tennessee a lot to see some of those courses. So seeing those courses and seeing how the drone and how like those layouts are on some of the courses up there, it makes me want to like actually go there, like spend a day to go travel and play those kind of courses. Until you see like actual footage of it and drone footage per se for day trips and weekend trips, as well as tournament prep, is super nice and super helpful to have.